Welcome to Corvette Today, the show that talks about everything Corvette, with your host, Steve Garrett, lifetime member of the National Corvette Museum, president of the Corvette Club of Kansas City, Missouri, and radio disc jockey at the #1 radio station in Kansas City for over 45 years. Here's Steve Garrett.
Thanks for listening and watching Corvette Today, the show that talks about everything Corvette, and the only current podcast dedicated to Corvette. I'm your host, Steve Garrett. I appreciate you tuning in. Corvette Today is brought to you by Wheelcraft. Want to dress up your Corvette with bright chrome or black chrome wheels? Visit wheelcraft.com and learn about their advanced PVD chrome finishing. They can refinish your wheels or offer a wheel exchange for most models, and it comes with a 5-year warranty. Visit wheelcraft.com today or call them at 833-840-5334. You can listen to Corvette Today on all podcast platforms. You can also listen on your smart device. Just say, "Hey Google," or "Alexa, play the podcast called Corvette Today," and you're connected. And be sure to visit the Corvette Today website. It's CorvetteToday.com. You can access everything there, including the Corvette Today merchandise store. You can also join our Corvette Today Facebook group there as well. Also, make sure you sign up for the Corvette Today emails, notifications, and updates at CorvetteToday.ck.page. And if you like YouTube, be sure to subscribe to our Corvette Today YouTube channel. See all Corvette Today episodes on YouTube as well. And be sure to patronize our flagship sponsors of Corvette Today, MidEngineCorvetteForum.com, the forum that focuses on the new mid-engine C8 Corvette. Meet a lot of fellow Corvette enthusiasts like yourself at MidEngineCorvetteForum.com. Soul Performance Products. Developed and manufactured in the United States, the Soul Performance Products exhaust portfolio has been tailored to elevate the experience of the world's most exciting sports cars, including the latest generation of the Corvette. Soul Performance Products at SOULPP.com, the official performance exhaust of Corvette Today. C8 Rally Driver is the one-stop shop for your C8 Corvette. Choose from custom-designed trunk and front covers, Z06 engine builder CNC plaques, customized wind restrictors, fluid caps, strut covers, rear hatch supports, and more. Everything is uniquely designed to provide you with custom accessories for your C8 Corvette. Visit their website at C8RallyDriver.com and let your imagination run wild. That's C8RallyDriver.com. Aerollari Wheels, a true forged wheel with over 20 unique styles to choose from for your C8 and wide-body versions of the C7, C6, and C5 Corvette. It's an amazing value, starting at only $23.88 for a set of 4 fully forged wheels. And use the promo code CT111 and get $100 off your purchase. Visit Aerollari.com. That's AEROLARRI.com. And use the promo code CT111 for your $100 discount. And a shout out to Canadian Corvette Forum and Corvette Forum, welcoming Corvette enthusiasts from around the world. My guest on today's show is the new R8C Delivery Manager at the National Corvette Museum. And we're going to talk about what it takes to get your Corvette ready for delivery at the museum. His name is Rod Keller. Rod, welcome to Corvette Today, buddy.
Hey, Steve, thanks so much for having me on. It's great speaking to you again. I know last time we talked, we were both in freezing weather, so I'm looking forward to a little warmth today.
Absolutely. Well, first off, buddy, let's talk more personally about you. Tell me about where you grew up. Do you have siblings? Did you come from a car family?
Steve, interesting enough, I grew up in the state of Florida, and I was there for the majority of my younger years. We actually relocated to Atlanta, Georgia, and I finished up my schooling there, and I was very, very fortunate to start a career with the Coca-Cola Company.
Nice.
Yeah, I spent about 30 years with that company, and being in the hometown of the world headquarters sure did have its perks, so I really enjoyed that. Got to a lot of World Series games, got to enjoy a lot of things with the Coca-Cola Company. The company actually took me to Richmond, Virginia for about 6 years. And then I relocated back to Orlando, Florida in 2003. And I've resided there ever since until I took this job in Bowling Green now. So I'm adjusting to that weather change. It's been a little bit of a challenge the last few weeks.
I can imagine.
I have 2 great sisters. To say we grew up in a car family would probably not be 100% accurate. My dad introduced me to short track racing and NHRA events, and even hydroplane racing at an early age. But we didn't have any really cool cars until my mom got a 69 Camaro.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was a car I got to drive a little bit in my early years in high school. So maybe that's what started me in a car type loving of events.
So when did you know you were a car guy? When did you realize that you're into cars?
It's very strange. We grew up in a family before we got the Camaro everything was a Chrysler product.
Huh.
So my dad grabbed me one day and said, hey, we're going to the Plymouth dealership. They have a funny car there on display. So it was Don the Snake Prudhomme. And I don't know if you grew up with any of those names in racing, but
Oh, yeah.
oh my gosh, I was fascinated by that car, fell in love with it, and immediately started grabbing every hot rod and carcraft magazine I could get to read. And I was hooked from that point forward.
That's really cool. So when did you get drawn to Corvettes? Was Corvette always the car for you?
You know, probably like most of the guys I grew up with, we all loved Corvettes. We just couldn't afford them. I grew up in the age when all of my friends had Boss 302 Mustangs or 351 Mustangs. So I had to be different. So my first muscle type car was a 340 Plymouth Duster. And from there, I just had a few Trans Ams. I had Z28s until I was eventually able to get my first Corvette, which was a 1973.
Very nice. Now, you've owned multiple Corvettes, I know. Talk about some of your previous Corvettes and the one that you've got in the garage right now.
Well, I started with the 73, which might still be my most favorite. It was an LA2 four-speed car with air. I then graduated to a 79 LA2 four-speed, 98, 2005, and I currently have a 2015 Stingray, which is a seven-speed. And my friends would disown me if I didn't mention that every one of my cars has always been a manual transmission. It's just something I've always enjoyed about the model and being able to shift gears. So I love that C7 and really, really enjoy that when I take it out and spend a little bit of time with it.
Amen, buddy. My C7 was a manual transmission, and everybody says, well, now that you've got a C8, I'm sure you don't miss that car. I miss my C7 manual transmission every single day.
I know. It's something about it, right?
Yeah.
C8's a great car.
Yeah.
But that manual transmission is something special.
It really is. Now, you've got history with the National Corvette Museum, too. Talk about your relationship with the museum.
Yeah, it's fascinating when I think back about this, but on a whim, and I can't even remember how we found out about it, but my two best friends and myself found out about the opening, and we were all in Atlanta. So we decided we were going to road trip. We each had Corvettes, and we each drove our own car. So we drove 3 Corvettes from Atlanta in 1994 for the grand opening. And the really cool thing that I want to share with you and the listeners is my two best friends are going to be back up for the 30th anniversary later this year. So I'm really looking forward to that. So I was there from the ground zero. It's special to all of us when we get around and talk about our Corvette times.
Yeah, very cool. Well, buddy, let's take our first break. When we come back, we're going to talk about what it takes to prepare a Corvette at the museum for museum delivery.
Sounds great.
That's coming up next here on Corvette Today.
We all know that wheels make the car. Wheelcraft's PVD chrome finish in bright chrome or black chrome will take your Corvette to new levels. And it comes with a 5-year warranty. Durability is a defining feature of the Wheelcraft finish. Their PVD chrome is superior to traditional chrome, with a finish that is brake dust resistant and cleans effortlessly with soap and water. Wheelcraft offers factory wheel exchange for select C4 through C8 models, or they can apply the PVD finish to your current wheels. No matter what generation you own, Wheelcraft will transform the look of your Corvette. With every Corvette comes a unique story, and Wheelcraft has embraced this idea. When you purchase your new set of wheels, you receive a lifetime membership to the Wheelcraft Pit Crew, granting you access to your own page on Wheelcraft's website, where you can post pictures and tell your Corvette story. Visit our website at wheelcraft.com or call 833-639-4231. Arrive in style with Wheelcraft.
If you park your car in your garage and you cover it up with a car cover, think of all the moisture that's coming up from the floor. All that mold and mildew is attracting to your car, your interior. There's rust forming on the suspension underneath. You don't have that with Car Capsule. This is Wayne Carini from Chasing Classic Cars, and this is my 2020 Corvette. If you want to protect your investment, get a Showcase by Car Capsule. No dust, no mildew, and no rust.
The Radiator Grill Store offers C8 Corvette A-pillar wind diffusers in beautiful carbon fiber or OEM gloss black that help reduce wind buffeting when a window is open. Easy installation and OEM fitment. Plus, get 10% off your total purchase with the promo code CT10 at radiatorgrillstore.com.
You're listening and watching Corvette Today with Steve Garrett.
Hey, thanks for checking out Corvette Today on podcast and YouTube. It's the only current podcast dedicated to Corvette. Corvette Today is brought to you by Wheelcraft. You want your Corvette looking its best? Well, dress it up with bright chrome or black chrome wheels. Visit wheelcraft.com and learn about their advanced PVD chrome finishing. They can refinish your wheels or do a wheel exchange, and you get a 5-year warranty as well. So visit wheelcraft.com today or give them a call, 833 639-4231. I'm your host, Steve Garrett. With me is the new R8C Delivery Manager at the National Corvette Museum, Rod Keller. In the second segment of Corvette Today, we're going to talk about what it takes to prepare a Corvette for museum delivery. First, Rod, the R8C program delivered 2,500 Corvettes last year in 2023. That's an amazing number. How many Corvettes can you guys deliver in one day, and do you think you're going to break the record this year?
Steve, it was quite an accomplishment. Everybody at the museum is incredibly proud of it. We typically can be between 10 to 14 cars per day.
Okay.
And we certainly fully expect to break that record this year. You know, we've talked a little bit about the growth and the excitement around the C8, and we'll talk a little bit more about different opportunities further, but we look forward to breaking that record this year.
That would be awesome. And this is something I didn't realize, but the museum delivery experience isn't just for new cars, is it?
That's correct. And I think that's something very important. I didn't even know it, Steve, until I started there. So we offer a museum experience for any year Corvette. And quite frankly, it's something we're very excited about and want to continue to grow that in 2024 as well. If you've got a 73 model and you want to bring it in, we will detail it, clean it up for you, get it on the boulevard, and you'll experience everything that somebody with a brand new C8 will experience. And it's so much fun. We get so many comments when we have a C3 out on the boulevard and people see it on the webcams. We get calls all day long. What is that C3 doing out there? You know, so something people should really look into, and they can see all that information on our website. So I'd encourage people to take a look.
That's really awesome. I didn't even know that, and that's cool information. Now, a lot of people, Rod, believe that when their Corvette is built across the street at the plant, they just drive it over to the museum. But that's not exactly true. Talk about how you get Corvettes from the plant over to the museum.
Yeah, that seems like the simplest process, right, Steve? But that's not how it works. It's put on a transport, just like if it was being taken to Atlanta, Georgia and dropped off at dealerships there. We get anywhere from 1 to 2 transports per day, depending on the number of cars that are available for us. They are brought right across the street. We unload them. We check them in just like any dealership would.
Very cool. Now, Rod, talk to me about when the R8C process starts for you and your team, because obviously it's got to be weeks in advance, doesn't it?
It is, and we'll start to track the cars as they're coming through from a build. Shane does an amazing job of watching these as they progress. What we don't do is we do not schedule the customer's delivery dates until we actually have the cars in our possession. Typically, we'll get those cars, and then we'll begin the process of reaching out to the customer and confirming delivery dates. Anywhere usually from 2 weeks after we receive the car. And it can depend if they're wanting to get it a little bit earlier, we can work that way, or for a little bit later, we can do that as well.
Gotcha. Now, I can imagine scheduling a museum delivery with a customer has to be a jigsaw puzzle. How does all that work from your perspective, and what things have to be factored in when scheduling a delivery for R8C?
You know, Steve, the thing that's most important to us is our goal is to make this just an exceptional experience for our customers. We're completely flexible. We offer up different days, different times. We're cognizant of the fact that they got to make travel arrangements. They have to book hotels. They have to get a rental car. Maybe they're going to have their car transported, so they're going to start to work on transportation of their car home. So it seems like it'd be cumbersome. Quite frankly, it's not, for the main reason these customers are just so excited to come get these cars, almost as excited as we are to have them.
Yeah.
The flexibility there just works out great for both parties. And we just work with the customer directly to see what works for their needs.
Nice. Now, I know there's a lot of extras now that customers can order as part of museum delivery, like paint protection film, ceramic coating, installation of various aero extras and stuff. Talk about all the stuff that might be available for people and how that affects the museum delivery date.
Steve, I appreciate that question because I talk to a lot of customers every day, and not all of our delivery customers are aware of that fact, but we can install so many items. You mentioned a lot of them. You talked about PPF, you talked about window tint. We've also do wheel locks, engine covers, radiator screens, side rockers, front splitters, high wing spoilers, certain stripe package, hash marks, Jake stripes, things of that nature. And I've got this amazing crew, and they are so good at what they do, Steve. I just go back there and watch them and just fascinated by it. But we'll install that for the customer prior to their delivery, and it'll all be set up on the floor when they get there. I think it's something people should start to take advantage of if they can, very reasonably priced, and we do a great job with it.
That's fantastic. Well, buddy, let's take our final break. When we come back, we're going to talk about what the Corvette itself goes through for PDI prior to museum delivery. That's coming up next with Rod Keller here on Corvette Today.
Are you ready for a better insurance policy without the Corvette tax? With Agreed Value Protection, the value of your collector vehicle will never change. Plus, you'll save money. Get a quick quote at ncminsurance.com.
Hey, honey, are you awake?
I am now.
I can't sleep. Since turning 50, I keep dreaming of a red door and a blue door, somehow knowing there are only choices for retirement.
Okay.
Through the red door, we outlive our money. We have to rely on our kids. We're stuck on a fixed income. It's terrifying.
Yeah, that would suck.
But through the blue door, our money outlives us. We retire on our terms. Our kids stay our kids, not our caretakers. We make work optional.
Yes, that's much better. That's what I want too. But what do we do?
We call True Wealth & Company at 913-653-8783. They specialize in helping successful people make work optional. They're our fiduciary Blue Door personal wealth managers.
Hey, where are you going? It's 3 a.m.
I can't sleep. I'm going to check out True Wealth & Company online at retirewithtrue.com. That Blue Door is going to be our retirement.
913-653-8783. Visit us online at retirewithtrue.com. Investment advice offered through True Wealth & Company, LLC, a registered investment advisor in the state of Kansas.
VetFinders.com is the Internet's original Corvette classified ads website, with classified ads starting at just $25. And every ad runs until your Corvette is sold. If you're in the market for a Corvette, VetFinders.com has over 500 Corvettes for sale from all around the USA and Canada and covering all 8 generations. Visit VetFinders.com, the Internet's destination for buying and selling Corvettes. That's VETTE Finders.com.
When you want to buy a Corvette, or any Chevrolet for that matter, get yours from Hendrick Chevrolet Shawnee Mission, located in Kansas City. Hendrick Chevrolet is the largest Corvette dealership and showroom in the Midwest. With a knowledgeable sales staff and Corvette sales specialists on hand, they'll help you build the Corvette of your dreams, and they ship nationwide. With Corvette certified master mechanics on site and a huge parts department with over 24,000 parts and $2 million in inventory, Hendrick Chevrolet is well equipped to take care of your every need. From sales to service to collision repair, Hendrick Chevrolet has you covered. Visit ChevyUSA.com or call 913-384-1550.
And now, back to the only current podcast on Corvettes, Corvette Today, with your host, Steve Garrett.
Hey, thanks once again for listening and watching Corvette Today, the show that talks about everything Corvette. Corvette Today is brought to you by Wheelcraft. You want your Corvette looking its best? Well, dress it up with bright chrome or black chrome wheels. Visit wheelcraft.com and learn about their advanced PVD chrome finishing. They can refinish your wheels or do a wheel exchange, and you get a 5-year warranty. So visit wheelcraft.com today or call them at 833-639-4231. I'm your host, Steve Garrett. With me is Rod Keller, the new R8C Delivery Manager at the National Corvette Museum. In this third and final segment, we're going to talk about what the NCM does to your Corvette to get it ready for museum delivery. Rod, talk a little bit about what your team does to each Corvette once you receive it and you get it prepped for museum delivery.
Yeah, sure, Steve. So it's a pretty simplistic process in terms of we identify the cars based off of the schedule for the week, and we will pull those cars up from our staging area and deliver those to the PDI department on whatever day is needed to get the car. We ideally like to get the car prepped. They're brand new cars, so it's washing it, it's drying it, it's interior clean, it's windows clean, it's wheels, tires, all of that prepped. And we like to get it out on the boulevard as quick as we can so that people can see it on the webcams. The team is very conscientious of that. But after they finish the general prep of the cleaning, then the next step is getting the accessories added. And we talked about that earlier. So depending on what the customer is elected to add, it may add another hour, 2 hours, 3 hours to the process. But once that's done, we finalize that. The car is finalized for prep. It's inspected again. Then it'll go out onto the boulevard and be ready for the customer delivery.
So it's really a PDI process. How many different checklist items are on that schedule?
So it varies by model type, to be real honest with you. We're a little bit different with Z06s, convertibles, coupes, and they take through about a 15-step process just with the initial cleaning piece. The biggest portion of it then is the accessories. So Mac will schedule that based off of what has he got to do to the car. Does it need to be up on the lift? Is it just going to be a high wing spoiler? Those are the points now that come and they're added into the process, and it allows him to schedule the amount of cars he can do on a daily basis.
And that's what I was going to ask you next. How long does it usually take to do a PDI prep for a Corvette on museum delivery, and how many cars are usually done in a day?
So the prep process, the general cleaning piece of it, again, we're very fortunate. These are brand new cars, so it's not like they're dirty. but we do take a long time to make sure they're perfect. The washing, interior cleaning, tire prep, etc., usually runs anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour and a half. And then you'll see the different time frames associated with a different level of accessories. We had a car the other day, Steve, that got almost every accessory you could imagine. It took the team about 3 hours to finish it.
Wow.
So it's just going to vary depending on the specific vehicle.
Yeah. Rod, I know you've got a fantastic team. Talk about some of the team members that prepare Corvettes for museum delivery.
Well, I'm glad you asked that, Steve. And I would say the highlight of my job is certainly get to talk to excited customers every day, but more so to watch this team work. We have got an incredible crew, and they're certainly so passionate about what they do. The brand is important to them. The museum's important to them. But nothing's more important to them than their customers. You know, it kind of starts with really Becky. And Becky is just like the go-to. If you need something answered or solved, go to Becky. She'll know it. She's the one that reaches out to customers. She's the one that establishes their delivery days. She sends all the pre-delivery information out to the customer that includes things like where we recommend you might want to stay. If you decide you want to use a transport company, here's some of the ones we recommend and things of that nature. But she's our go-to there. And that's not only go-to with the customers, but go-to with all of our staff in the building. Then when it gets down to the actual preparation of the car, Mac is our PDI supervisor. And again, another guy, he can do anything to a vehicle. It's amazing to watch him work. Sometimes I just watch him put on decals because his touch and his ability to put stripes on all is just amazing to me. Then you come down to our delivery host. What a group. I can't say enough about them. They spend so much time prepping these cars. They make sure their paperwork is immaculate. They make sure that the customer has everything they need. They want nothing more than that customer to walk out with a smile on their face and feel like this experience was the greatest thing in my car associated life. And they all devote the time and the energy and the passion to make that work. It's a super, super good team, Steve, and it makes my day just exciting to watch them work.
I know that it's a great team. Thank everybody on the team because I know they do a fantastic job. You're right. I'm sure they really care about every customer that gets a museum delivery, and it shows with the thoroughness of the R8C program. It really does.
It does.
Buddy, I know you're just new to the job, but I'm sure there's been some unique requests with the R8C program over the years. What are some of the out-of-the-way, out-of-the-box type of things that people have asked for that are unique to the R8C delivery program?
There is some uniqueness there. I think more than anything else, the uniqueness might flow around some of the people. We get a lot of high-profile people love Corvettes, and a lot of high-profile people take museum delivery. We don't brag about it. They don't always want people to know about it. But it's quite often that we have somebody pop in and just want to look at the Corvettes that'll catch you completely off guard. A lot of racing fans, a lot of celebrities. You know, and I think there's just some uniqueness to the brand, which causes some excitement. And then we get excited when we see people come in and go, there's a person that enjoys a car just like we do. So I think it's more unique personalities more than unique experiences or unique requests in that terms.
Nice, nice. And I know that the guy that was there before you has been a stalwart for the Corvette Museum, Shane Webb. Shane did the R8C manager job, and I know he's still with the museum, isn't he?
He is, thank goodness. It was one of the things I asked about in my interview process to make sure Shane was there because I'd seen his names all over the forums, deservedly so. Shane is a great, great person. He built this. He's taken it to a whole nother level. He has forgot more about the process than most people ever know, but he's very humble, but he's very passionate, and he's very customer service focused. We kid each other in the facility when we start talking about, well, yeah, Shane emailed me last night at 2 a.m. or Shane sent me a text message at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
That's just the way he operates. He embraces it and he's fully committed to it and he's very passionate. He made a decision to change in a little bit of a different direction. So right now he's focused on finishing up some of our photo albums and a couple other things that are critical to the museum's success from a R8C delivery standpoint. But the thing I'm really excited about for Shane is this job's allowed him to spend more time with his family. He's got a very young family. He's a very dedicated father. So we're really, really excited to have him still part of our team, a big, big part of our team. But also he's getting the ability to do some things from a work-life balance that fits his needs currently. So great person. And next time you're in, I certainly want to make sure you get to spend some time with him.
You tell Shane I said hi. He's a great guy. I've worked with him before, and I'm glad he's still at the museum.
So am I.
And before we go, Rod, talk to me a little bit more about the raffles that are held at the museum because those come up all the time, and they're so cool.
Yeah, I tell you, it's one of the best things we get to experience, Steve. We actually had a raffle last week, and it's neat because we do it live, and then we call the customer. And so the last two, they've actually picked up both customers.
Oh.
And the excitement in their voice when they realize that they've won a brand new Corvette is something that's really, really exciting. You know, not everybody's ready to jump in and make a purchase, a brand new C8, and I understand that. But something that I would encourage everybody to do is they can go to CorvetteMuseum.org and they can take part in the Corvette raffle, and they can take a chance on winning a brand new C8. With that comes museum delivery.
Oh.
So we're certainly excited to make that delivery to somebody that just got a brand new Corvette, winning it through a raffle. And it's just so much fun when we do these, and the people are so excited. I would encourage anybody maybe to take a chance on that. Maybe if you have the good luck, you can get a car and a free museum delivery.
There you go. You know, buddy, I never win anything. I should be so lucky to win a Corvette from the National Corvette Museum.
Yeah, I could tell you some of the statistics on this, but you probably wouldn't believe me, but it's fascinating. So I would say anybody take a chance on it because you have a good chance of winning.
That's awesome. Rod, thank you so much for being on Corvette Today. I appreciate you taking the time, and I look forward to seeing you at the bash.
Steve, thanks so much for your time. I appreciate talking about the experience and talking about our wonderful team. And we definitely look forward to seeing you when you get down for the bash.
Thanks again for listening and watching Corvette Today. And be sure to tell your family, friends, and other Corvette enthusiasts about the Corvette Today show. And thanks to our sponsors, Wheelcraft. Want to dress up your Corvette with bright chrome or black chrome wheels? Visit wheelcraft.com to learn about their advanced PVD chrome finishing. They can refinish your wheels or offer a wheel exchange for most models, and it comes with a 5-year warranty. Visit wheelcraft.com today or call 833-840-5334. Soul Performance Products at soulpp.com, the official exhaust of Corvette Today. True Wealth & Company at retirewithtrue.com. Also, Aerolarri Wheels, get $100 off your purchase with the new promo code CT111 at aerolarri.com. And Hendrick Chevrolet in Kansas City at ChevyUSA.com.
Thanks for checking out Corvette Today on podcast and YouTube. If you'd like to contact Steve with ideas for Corvette Today, you can email him at stevegarrettdj@gmail.com. Garrett has 2 R's and 2 T's. That's stevegarrettdj@gmail.com. Also, sign up for email notifications at corvettetoday.ck.page. Follow Steve and the show on social media on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Threads at Steve Garrett DJ. Thanks again for listening and watching Corvette Today.